You probably think the first computer looked like this. But what if I told you that's not the first computer? In fact, the true first computer was built not in the 20th century, but over 2,000 years ago, by the ancient Greeks. And the journey that led us from clay tablets to AI, from wooden gears to quantum computing, is one of the most astonishing stories in human history. This is the real story of computing. And it's not what you think. Let's start with a question. Before computers, how did people think about numbers? Long before processors and programming, humans needed to count. For crops. For trade. For the stars. So we created tools, simple, ingenious tools. Counting beads in Africa, dating back thousands of years. The Ashango bone from Central Africa, over 20,000 years old, with carved notches, may be humanity's first math tool. The abacus in Mesopotamia, China, and later Rome, a sliding calculator before calculators existed. These weren't just rocks and sticks. They were early information processors. And they laid the groundwork for everything that came next. Now, here's where things get wild. In 1901, sponge divers off the coast of Antikythera, Greece, found a corroded lump of bronze and wood at the bottom of the sea. They didn't know it yet. But they had just discovered the world's first known analog computer. The Antikythera mechanism, over 2,000 years old, is a marvel of ancient engineering. It used a complex system of gears to predict solar eclipses, planetary positions, and even Olympic Games schedules. Inside this ancient box was a machine more sophisticated than anything seen for another 1,000 years. Let that sink in. The Greeks built a gear-powered predictive model of the cosmos, in 100 BCE. We didn't even fully understand how it worked, until the 21st century. Fast forward to the 1600s. Europe was exploding with scientific discovery, and the need to calculate was growing. Blaise Pascal, a French mathematician, invented a machine in 1642 to help his tax collector father. It was the Pascaline, a gear-powered box that could add and subtract. Then came Leibniz, who added multiplication and division. These machines were marvels of mechanics. But they still relied on human input, they weren't programmable. Yet, they set the stage for what would come next. Enter Charles Babbage. In the 1830s, Babbage imagined a machine that could do any calculation, not just add and subtract. He called it the analytical engine. It had a mill processor, a store memory, an input-output system, punch cards. Sound familiar? It was a full-blown general-purpose computer, 100 years before the first electronic one. And then came Ada Lovelace. The daughter of Lord Byron, she was a mathematical prodigy. Ada didn't just translate Babbage's work, she expanded it. She wrote the first computer program, algorithms designed to be executed by a machine. She even predicted computers could go beyond numbers, to create music, art, and language. In 1843. They were never built in their time. But they planted a seed, one that would bloom in the 20th century. The next leap came with holes. Punch cards, first used in looms to automate patterns in fabric. Later, companies like IBM used them to automate data, like the 1890 US Census. But it was World War II that truly lit the digital fuse. Germany and Nazi Germany, the Z3 machine became the first programmable electromechanical computer. United Kingdom and Britain, Alan Turing helped design the bomb to crack the Nazi Enigma code, saving millions of lives. United States and the US, the ENIAC was created to calculate artillery tables. These machines were fast, electric, and programmable. Computing had finally entered the modern era. Vacuum tubes were powerful, but fragile and hot. Then in 1947, everything changed. Scientists at Bell Labs invented the transistor, a tiny switch made of silicon. Suddenly, computers could be smaller, faster, and cheaper. 1950s, room-sized computers for governments. 1960s, computers for corporations. 1970s, the first microprocessors. And in 1981, the personal computer was born. Today, we carry in our pockets more computing power than NASA had when they landed on the moon. Now, we've gone far beyond gears and punch cards. AI can write essays, diagnose diseases, and generate art. Quantum computers can calculate problems traditional computers can't solve in a billion years. Biocomputers may one day use DNA to store data or process information organically. We're not just building tools anymore. We're building thinking machines. And every step, from the abacus to artificial intelligence, is part of a chain that began thousands of years ago. So, what is a computer? It's not just circuits and screens. A computer is any device, ancient or modern, that helps us solve problems, process information, or extend our minds. The abacus. The Antikythera. The analytical engine. They're not relics. They're foundations. And as we race toward a future powered by quantum AI, it's worth remembering where it all began. With human curiosity. With the desire to understand. And with a handful of gears, not gigabytes. If this fascinated you, hit like, subscribe, and share this with a friend. The more we understand the past, the better we can shape the future.